Well, welcome to the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. I'm Zarathustra. We're broadcasting from Tulum, Mexico. Um, so today we're going to talk about choicelessness and how do we operate and how do we cope up with this reality of if we are established in the 5D quantum awareness, or in other words, if we're an advocate of the Advaita Vedanta teachings, which is an ancient teaching, and the teaching lead us to the realization that we don't have free will, we don't have a choice. So then what happens? How do we live? What do we do? Because it's very scary and challenging to coming to this realization that we don't have any free will, we don't have choice, and that opens up the gateway to myriad of different questions, uh, which it's interesting because I'm going to get into that and explain it to you. But also, even if we believe we have choice, and let's say we do have free will, then that also creates a lot of other questions too. So, so let's delve into it and just get an idea of what is happening. Now, uh, let's say hypothetically, and we do agree, all of us, for a few moments that we have free will and we have choice. Today, in today's neo-spirituality, in the modern spirituality, we're being taught that we have the power of intention, and if we set up our intention and we're very clear with our intention, we're going to manifest what we desire. Okay? So, and if you coming from that school of thoughts and you've been really working on it, and you keep putting your intention on accomplishing something or manifesting something, and normally what is it we're trying to accomplish or manifest? We always go to our basic needs when it comes to manifestation and our desires. And our very basic needs is either finances, that I'm financially settled and I don't have to deal with money and worry about money. That's one thing. And that leads to, oh, I like to have a better car or a car. I like to have a home or a nice place to live in. And also, then if we look at it on a broader spectrum, then okay, I'm looking for a love. I want my lover, my love of life, my partner. And then, so then I want my health. If we're having health issues, then all we're thinking about to be healthier and to be stronger. And so if you look at it from this point of view, and then yes, maybe at one point I like to the union with God. I like to become enlightened. I like to have self-realization. But I pretty much doubt it that anyone who is practicing neo-spirituality or believes in the power of manifestation, believes in intention, believes that we are capable to create our own reality. I really doubt that if there's anybody, their first desire and wish is the union with God. Normally, people on this path that are practicing this kind of work, they want to manifest things, objects. like a lover, or I want to get younger, or I want to get healthier, I want more money, I want a better job. Uh, it's possessions that we're looking for, basically, not God. So this manifestation business, this in intention setting business is opposite of real spirituality. Spirituality in a sense of ultimate desire of oneness with God. And that very few people get to this point. In the ultimate desire of becoming one with God, is that you are letting go of all your desires, other desires. So you're not asking for anything else. You just want to merge in with God. And there are people on the spiritual path that they have arrived at that point. Like nothing else mattered to them except union with God. But if you don't have enough food to eat, if you don't have a good home, shelter somewhere, a bed to sleep in, if your car keeps breaking down and you can't get to work and you have to use all kinds of public transport, if you have your needs, then they prioritize most of the time. Your basic needs will prioritize. So your attention will go into how to just survive as a human being rather than how I'm going to become one with God. So it will catch your attention. Your instincts for survival will catch your attention. So okay, that is. And right now, there is no shortage of schools, of teachings, of teachers that they're very, very happy to collect your fee, to get your money. And they will be teaching you through breath work, intentional setting, to through being pure, to purify your body, to purify your mind, changing your diet, and doing all these various different kind of practices in order to be able to manifest what you want. There's many, many people who are happy to teach you these things. So why aren't we doing it then? I mean, it's a very wonderful proposition. And I'm more than happy to sign up right now. If I can be pure enough and my intentions are holy enough and I do the work, then I will manifest the things I want. So, but and a lot of people are practicing it. A small percentage of these people may be getting what they want, but the rest of the people that I've encountered in the spiritual communities, whether here in Tulum or Sedona, or on my tours in Europe or in India, most people I have encountered are very, very confused, extremely confused. And they keep repeating the same thing, but they're far, far away from coming to any kind of results and conclusions. And the reason for that is because that's not what it is. It just doesn't work. It's never worked, and it will never work. And it doesn't work because it may just momentarily, it appears that it's working for a very short period of time, but it would never work long term. And because it's not real. The reality of it is I have to be separated from totality. I have to be an individual, completely separated from everything else, in order to have my free will. But what part of me is separated from everything else? That separation maybe appears to be real on a physical level, like, okay, I'm not a part of this couch I'm sitting in. I'm not a part of this wall behind me. Okay, all right. But I'm in it. I'm in inter, I'm constantly dealing with life. And in this uh, deal with life, and this being involvement that I have with life, a big portion of it is that number one is my body has to be agreeing in functioning correctly. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to go to work. I wouldn't be able to sit still. If I have serious health issues, I wouldn't be able to teach. I wouldn't be able to talk. I won't be able to eat. There's a lot of things. I would become extremely limited, and I would be dealing with pain and aches and things like that. And how much control do we have over our body? And of course, the subject is to be argued, and there are people coming saying, well, you can eat better, you can choose to do yoga in the morning, you can choose to go to the gym, you can run, you can exercise, lift weights, um, lose weight, blah, blah, blah. But we try to do these kind of things sometimes, and when it's not on our path, when we're not meant to be doing it, you do it for an hour, you do it a couple of times, and then you just can't do it anymore. You are bumped out of your path. So it sounds like it's easy, but if existence is not supporting it, it won't happen. So, okay, now you want to keep your body healthy. So, but there's a lot of other things. We're not paying attention in whatever I want to do. Right now, I want to go to the other side of Tulum, and I'm looking for a place to rent, or I want to go to the beach, or I want to meet somebody. How do I get there? Okay, either you're riding a motorcycle or you have a car. Long distances, you can't walk, you cannot ride a bicycle. It would take you 3 hours to get there. So you need a vehicle, a motor vehicle. So you get on your vehicle and you start the bike and it doesn't start. Something's wrong with it. It's not working. So the bike or the car needs to cooperate with you. It means to tell you, you know what, right now, you want to go to the other part of town, I am going to be working. So your body is telling you I'm working. Your car is telling you I'm working. Now you're in your car, you're driving, going to the other part of the town. And now the other drivers, other vehicles, hopefully nobody will crash into you. They won't hit you. So they have to also cooperate and agree that we are going to be functioning correctly today. We're going to be paying attention. No one's going to be on their phone while they're driving and hitting you, or get distracted by their kids or their dog or anything else. So you're going to make it there. And also the weather says, you know what, today I'm going to be good. There won't be a storm. There won't be a tornado. There won't be a hurricane. There won't be any kind of blizzard. There won't be anything. We're going to cooperate with you to get there. The problem is that we're not really paying attention to millions and millions of different elements cooperating with each other for us to do a very simple thing. Let's say right now you decide you want to go to the supermarket to do some grocery shopping, some food shopping. Okay, in order to go from your home to the supermarket and come back, millions of different elements have to cooperate with each other. We're not paying any attention to that because getting in your car, going to the supermarket and doing some food shopping is a very ordinarily part of your life. And you don't think about it like if it's a big deal. But you don't realize how many millions of different elements on this planet they have to cooperate with each other in order for us to do a very simple thing. So many different elements. So if you go deeper in the awareness, in the 5D awareness, and you're paying more attention to your own self, you are really looking deeper into the nature of yourself and everything. You're a thinker. You're digging deeper. And the time, especially when things don't go your way, all of a sudden everything starts to fall apart. And it doesn't matter how hard you're trying to keep things together, no matter what you do, everything falls apart. You fix one thing, one other thing breaks. I'm talking about in your life, for example. Okay. Suddenly you have problems with your partner, or suddenly you have problems at work. Suddenly, maybe the school system or the government, they cut a budget and they lay you off. You don't have a job anymore. Suddenly, something happens. Everything was going according to the plan until something changed. And now things aren't going in that direction. And no matter, you're trying to fix this, you're trying to fix that. In the middle of trying to fix things, suddenly your sciatica goes off. Like what happened to me like 3 weeks ago. I picked up a box and it was a little bit heavy and my back went out. And I've been just dealing with that. And then 2 weeks ago, for one day, I couldn't get out of the bed. I couldn't get up and walk. I mean, I would get up and it was like walking was suffering. So, how much of that is in my control? And I know there are people coming back and saying that, yeah, I manifested that, I created that. But what kind of sick person, what kind of idiot or a stupid person would go and manifest something like that, or would go and manifest their child falling down the stairs and breaking their arm? Why would you manifest that? I mean, when things like that happen, and I know we kind of blame ourselves, but why would you do that? Why would you manifest something like this instead of manifesting something better? So obviously, you are not doing it consciously. You're not aware of it. So then I can come and say, well, your child falling down the stairs, breaking his arm, it was a part of your unconscious created it. Well, yeah, we can always come up with all sorts of arguments, but we don't know. You don't know if unconsciously you created an accident or not. So for me, it's much better and more comprehensible and digestible to lean back on this understanding, not even belief, but the understanding that there is a force of life that runs the world. There is a power that is in charge. And this power, this living force, is living in everybody. It's inside me, it's inside everyone else, and it's in everything. And it's putting things together. And yeah, it appears to be that I have free will. Okay, I have free will. We all have free will, but no matter whatever, that free will that you're choosing is going to lead to one conclusion only. So there's the appearance of free will, but then it always, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but the result is always going to be what it's supposed to be. So there is this illusion that you can make it, you can do it, but the result is already written, it's already printed out. Now, it's very difficult for the seeker of the truth to, in the beginning, it's difficult to comprehend this because you have to have a certain spiritual maturity to understand it. Before you get to that level of understanding, whether of spiritual understanding, that maturity, you can't even intellectually understand this. Your mind will refuse it. But once you arrive at a certain level, which is not even your choice, you don't decide on that either. But once existence finds us worthy or finds us ready, then what happens is it will reveal itself to you in a magical way. You will start getting a glimpse of it, that you're choiceless. You don't have any choice. But when I say you don't have any choice, the first thought comes for us is fear. Because, oh my God, if I don't have any choice, so how am I going to survive? How am I going to be taken care of? But the thing is, that same force, which has brought you to this choicelessness and reveals itself, not, let's say you come to this understanding that you realize, like, wow, I don't have any choice in this life. There's nothing I can do to change the outcome of what is going to happen. Okay, so let's say you come to that understanding. If you do, then in the meantime, then it's not just going to be fear of, oh my God, how am I going to make money to pay my bills? Because if I don't have any choice, something has created this object. I'm a created object. So I don't have the power of creating things because I'm already created. Okay, that which has created me then is responsible for my well-being. The responsibility of taking care of myself is not falling on me anymore. It's falling on the creator, the one that has created this object is the one that is responsible for it, needs to take care of it. But while this taking care is happening, there's the illusion that I'm doing it myself. It looks like I am doing it myself, but it only looks like it. Something much more powerful than you and I, something that was here before you and I were born, something that is going to be here after you and I die, that takes care of everything. Something much bigger than you and I. And that same force, when, for example, Monica, you do healing work, you're a healer, you're a life coach, you do healing. I mean, you're more than that, but professionally. Okay, we do all the techniques that we have learned, but what is it that heals someone else? Some force, some power decides on healing somebody else. Because if it was up to me, every time I do a healing on someone, of course, my intention is for them to be healed. But why don't they get healed? Why my healing rate is not 100%? My intention is for them to get healed. Why can't I heal them then? But as you know, those of you who have practiced this professionally or just as a hobby, you have seen and experienced that it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't happen. Yeah. Whatever has decided to create this guy and operates to it, because this thing that is I'm alive, this thing that is living in me, expressing itself, radiating through this shell.
Mm-hmm.
We can call it consciousness, we can call it God, the living force. This living force, when it leaves this body, then I fall down and then I'm announced dead. I'm no longer alive because that force is no longer inside this body.
So that's why you sometimes you said that we are God. That's what you mean with that.
Yes, exactly, because that living force is God, it's consciousness. But it's also different than when I'm in my head and I'm thinking from my ego, from the sense of separation. Then even though it's a part of the game, it's supposed to be that way. But that's where it creates this illusion of separation. But if that illusion, that sense disappears, then all that's left is only God all the time. It's always God all the time, no matter what.
And that also explains how we can lose time, doesn't it? I mean, my new working place is really calm and quiet, and the energy is very kind. And sometimes when I come there, I just come inside and shut the door, and I'm standing there and I'm just breathing for like 2 minutes, and I look at the watch, the clock, and I see, gosh, 30 minutes just passed. What happened?
Right.
So that's where I'm being caught in this energy. Am I
Yeah.
thinking wrong or
What happens is you lose yourself in the being.
completely?
Yeah. So then time, space disappear. And of course, later when you come back and you become a person, because you lose
Mm.
yourself into the vastness and it's just nothing. Then you come back and you look at the time and you say, oh, wow, in human time, human measurements, half an hour has gone by. But
Mm.
in this half an hour, where was I?
Mm.
There's no, when you disappear into the oneness, there is nobody there. Monica is not there to say, oh, I disappeared. Oh, I am right now disappearing in the oneness. No, you're gone. There
I'm
is
gone.
no Monica, it's just oneness. And then when Monica or appears to come back, the story of Monica comes with it, and there was time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we all have experienced that. We all do experience it. We all have experienced it. That there are periods of time that we just disappear. But when you disappear, in that moment, there is nobody there. There's no person saying I've disappeared. There's no Eva, there's no Kasha, there's no Hilde, there's no Zarathustra saying I'm disappeared. Only after, but not during. During them, you may say, oh my God, you may say, wow. But you don't say me, I. Because the moment you say I, then you come back to the person, you become a person. But when you're disappeared, there is no, it's like you sleep and you don't dream. There's no dreams. And when you wake up the next day or after an hour after your nap, when you wake up, you say, oh, I was gone. But when you're gone, there is no one there claiming it. It's just not there.
Because I had a few more mornings when I get up at the same time in the morning and I do basically the same things, and then I go to work and everything works and I get there in time and everything. But these last mornings, it's just like been like waking up at the same time. I've done the same thing, and then it's like, gosh, I have to be at work now. I'm gonna be so late. And what happened? So that's why I came with this, been
Yeah.
thinking about this. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good problem to have
It's a good problem to have, yeah.
in comparison to other people around the world.
Absolutely.
Now, there is a period that you come to this understanding. It's got levels. So for some of you, maybe you have 1 foot in these teachings and 1 foot secretly into neo spirituality. So you may be going to these other courses teaching this spirituality, manifestation, intention, blah, blah, blah. And you have 1 foot in this one. And that's going to be a period of turmoil in your life. You're going to go through a lot of turmoil because the two contradict themselves. And then slowly, finally, you go in one way because you want to go crazy because you're in this contradiction, which is normal. It happens to a lot of spiritual seekers. So then you come to this period and then you kind of surrender to this teachings and you dive into it. But it's still not your everyday reality. You're still going through confusion. And this has to burn itself out. Once it burns itself out, then you become 100% clear. And there's no more battles inside you. I mean, entering into the spiritual world in a way, I mean, it sucks. In a way, in one way, it's really great. In many ways, it's really great. In a way, you can't go back. Once you get a taste of the self, once you get a taste of God, you can't go back. You can't go back to the normal life. Say, oh my God, I really envy my sister because they're in the sleep world, sleepy world. And you want to go back, but you can't.
Thank God for that.
Well, yeah, because the sleepy world, it's got its fears, and worries and dramas. The more you enter into this level, the less your fear goes down because you start seeing everything is God. The worst thing is happening to you. You recognize it's God itself is doing this to you. So you don't say, why me? Why is this happening to me? Or what is it happening to me? Because you know it's all coming from the self. So those fears, they start to disappear. And ultimately, the fear of death disappears. You're not afraid of death either because there is no death. Death was for human beings, not for you. They die. You can't die. You get to this point, you realize, like, where am I gonna go? Yeah, my butt, the shell is going to die because this is an object. And eventually it's going to get old. Eventually it's going to break down. Eventually it's going to malfunction. As we all can see that. But it's disillusion has nothing to do with you. You will be watching this guy dying as you're watching me right now. We're watching each other. You will be doing the same thing with your body. You watch your body is dying. You're witnessing it like, oh, interesting, this thing is dying. But you have no identification with it. And then it dies and you're watching it and you're telling yourself, now you're dead. Now you see people coming on top of your body, they're crying. And you say, why are they crying for an empty shell? Why are these people crying? This is just an empty shell. And then slowly, at that time, you realize, wow, all this time I was very, very attached to this thing, but it's just a thing. It's just a vehicle that you're occupying at this moment in your life, at this period. And there are times it's beautiful, there are times it's functioning, there are times it's sick, there are times that it's not attractive. You're going to experience all of it in this vehicle. You're going to see its glory and you're going to see its misery. You're going to experience all of it. But why not? And you're not limited to it. So you're going to move on. But that's an understanding is going to come on its own. And there's many parts of life we don't understand because it's so vast, it's so infinite, and I don't know why certain things happen to me. I don't know why I am in certain places in the world. The experiences I'm going to have are going to be unique to myself, and you don't necessarily will experience those, or I don't get to experience yours. Like, I don't know what it's like to be pregnant. That I would never know in this life. I don't know what it's like to give birth. That's something I would never experience in this life. And a woman would never experience what is it like to be a man. So we're not going to know everything. There's so much. So much. I would never experience what is it like to be a fish. What is it like to be a bird? You know? So there's so much in this dimension to experience. The list is infinite. You just have to keep coming back and coming back over and over again to experience different things. If you want, I guess, I don't know. So there's a lot of the stuff in this life we're not ever going to understand because it's so vast. One life is not enough. You need a lot more than one life. And you definitely need to be able to go into shapeshift into different things, which God is doing it. God is living life through every one of us and gets to experience that particular life firsthand. So this is its beauty. This is its infinite nature. That is the bird, is experiencing life as a bird, experiencing life as a fish, experiencing life as a bacteria, experiencing life as a human being. That's the infinite, is doing all of it. So as an individual, I can only do one. But if I go beyond my individuality and fall into the ocean of oneness, then all those experiences become mine. But the mind can't understand. I start thinking about it, I can't get it. It's not something I can understand. It's something I can become, be, or am already. Which brings everything to one point. Everything we talked about, everything we're doing, it just brings us to one singularity, one point at the end, one simple point, which is the silence, which is you just come to one pointedness. So you're just like, one pointedness. Your mind stops at this place. And you can try it right now. Let's just give it a shot. So we just come to one pointedness, whether your attention is on your third eye or it's your heart, and you're just here without going anywhere in the world of the thoughts. Check it out and see. And suddenly, unquestionably, without a single doubt, peace appears. Slowly, slowly come. Kasha, you have someone behind you, some kind of being. You can't see it from there, but I see it from here. Okay, wow. That's nice to see you all. We'll continue the academy, God willing, next Thursday. Wish me luck on my hunt. Hopefully, I'll find my place.
We're looking forward to see what place you will stay in again, you know.
Yeah.
And thank you for a great webinar again.
Well, yeah.
I needed that reminder today, you know, and I'm just sitting here thinking that we are using so much energy to worry and try to control ourselves, you know. We can just lay back in the river of God and just flow.
If we can.
If we can.
We can.
It's so easy, but it seems so difficult. So
I mean, sometimes there's like a volcano happening inside you, and it's just like erupting.
yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. You just, it takes over. It's, you can't control a raging river.
Even
River
if
is raging down, the stream. You can't control it. Maybe you can learn how to navigate so you don't get drowned, but you cannot control it. So when the mind goes crazy, there's nothing you can do about it. But maybe you can remember who you are and you're simply observing it. So there's a moment that you disconnect from it because it's a volcano erupting. All these thoughts, emotions coming from inside you, which you have no choice over. But there's a moments that maybe you remember you are not them and you are watching them. Maybe there's a moment. In that very moment, you are out. And then it takes over again because it's very strong. But for one moment, you remember you're not it. And there's also not to fall into any guilty feelings like, oh, I have worked on myself all these years and I got swept away by my thoughts and my emotions. Because you don't have a choice to not be swept away by your thoughts and emotions. And when they come so strongly, they take you. So you don't want to beat yourself up either, because it's naturally guilt comes or self-blame comes. But then you just remember, you come back in that very moment. Even for one moment, you come back to your center. Oh, okay, this is who I am. And that's it. And then you go back in it again. But you remember who you are. And you're always back. Those of you watching this broadcast for the first time, my website is zarathustra.tv, and you can contact me at info@zarathustra.tv. We'll continue our broadcast, inshallah, God willing, next Thursday. Look forward to connecting with you all. Sending you lots of love. Nice seeing you.